Dear participants, we have a next presenter here, Ms. Anu Olo Upa from background of public health, going to present the topic of integration of sanitation and hygiene with cash stipends for improved nutrition in pregnant and lacting women in Nagre Lag Ope State. Ms. Anolo, please carry on with your presentation and share your screen here.
All right, thank you, everyone. Hello, my name is Anolu Babatunde. I'll be presenting the integration of sanitation and hygiene with cash stipends for improved nutrition in pregnant and lactating women in Nangere, LGA, Yobe State in Nigeria. Next slide. Okay, so as a way to introduce the topic, we know that worldwide, 1.1 billion people live without clean water and 2.6 billion people lack adequate sanitation. Lack of access to clean and safe water and living in environments with dirty stagnant water are known to result in largely preventable water-related diseases that can lead to severe impacts adverse pregnancy outcomes and essential parts of infection prevention in maternal care services. Proper hand washing is one of the most effective ways to reduce the spread of infection in homes and public spaces. Since clean water and basic sanitation are so closely related to healthy pregnancy outcomes, it is important for this integration. So the objective of the survey was to capture data on the following nutrition and food security indicators to determine if the results show any possible advantage to an integrated WASH nutrition and food security intervention. And the study was going to capture indicators on proportion of pregnant and lactating women households with improved household dietary diversity score, proportion of pregnant and lactating women households with food consumption score to the acceptable level, that's greater than 35, proportion of women of reproductive age who consume a minimum diverse diet, and proportion of children 6 to 23 months of age who consume a minimum diverse acceptable diet. Next. The methodology used for this survey is simple random sampling using the Ralston sample calculator. 360 as a sample size was derived from the population, that's a sample frame of 5,504 of the women who were involved in this intervention using a confidence interval of 95% and 5% margin of error. And of these 360 women who were set out to be for the study limitations, we had recall bias, interpretation bias, and the fact that all the beneficiaries could not be reached because of access issues, because some of the locations where they were remote places and difficult to access. And then another limitation was that the survey needed a comparison, like a baseline, to show like a significant improvement at the time in comparison to the time that this data collection was done. So as a result, no inference was drawn for this assessment. Next slide. From the study, 64% of the amount received by women was expended on food, while an average of 11% of them expended on soap, which are hygiene-based material. So to explain back, because the internet cut off while I was doing the introduction, the intervention mixed WASH, nutrition, and food security. For food security, the pregnant and lactating women were given a stipend of 5,500 monthly. They received hygiene messages and they received nutrition messages, including nutrition intervention for women who had children who were malnourished. Next slide. The food consumption score, which is a frequency-weighted diet diversity score calculated using the frequency of diverse food groups consumed by a household within a 7 days recall, shows that 96.7% of the study population actually consumed an acceptable food. From this assessment, the minimum acceptable diet of children 6 to 23 months apart from breast milk was 47%. and a proportion of this was behavior change messages. 89% confirmed having access to BCC messages, which integrates hygiene and nutrition messages. 98.5% of pregnant and lactating women 98.5% of pregnant and lactating women think exclusively breastfeed their children for 6 months. This was gotten from the knowledge and attitude questions. On early initiation of breast milk, 93% think they should start breastfeeding immediately or within 30 minutes of childbirth. Next slide. Yes, of all the references that was used for this assessment, especially for the introduction and the comparison of results, 5 are being put here because of the restrictions. Next. Indicators assessed show acceptable food security status in pregnant and lactating women. Men use of the money received, because from the assessment, 64%, which was 3,200 naira, was spent food alone by the women. On the hygiene, women complemented by purchasing soap themselves to wash their hands at critical times, especially when they change babies' diapers or when they have to prepare food. And this.
Thank you, Ms. Anuolo Wapa.